Go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is a work session regarding facilities projects. We want to thank CATS for being here. It was determined that since we're deliberating and receiving information, it's considered official action, so this is an official meeting. And so school board meetings must now be transmitted, so we will be doing that. So it is being transmitted live as well as recorded. So please let the record reflect that Mr. Tucker, Mr. Durnall, Mr. DeMoss, and Mr. Kerr are present. And I will turn it over to our architect. Or do you have something you want to say first?
No, I think tonight, well, I guess I do. Tonight, I think if we would like to, my goal tonight is to really hear the thoughts of the board and hopefully give us some direction so that we can move forward on phase 2 of our construction projects. And phase 2 is basically band and choir, addition renovation at the high school, and also adding the biomedical labs at the high school and a couple of classrooms. At the junior high, we're considering different options on utilizing the space to either build a new wing for band and choir or renovate the area that they're in now and add some classrooms. And then the turf is also part of this phase 2 of our construction projects. Misha's going to go through that a little bit more in detail, and we'd just like to hear the board's thoughts on what options they think would be good to move forward on. So, yeah, Misha?
Thank you, Dr. Sanders. Can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Let me know I don't have a teacher voice, so I can speak up at any point. So thank you for having me back. And today I wanted to share with you just a couple options for both the high school and the junior high school based on some of the comments that we've gotten in the past and kind of looking at them a little bit further about what we can do with just to either reduce scope or kind of move things around or reconfigure some of the spaces. So what you can see on the screen right now is option 1 for the high school. And it really focuses on the performing arts addition to the building. So both band, choir, ensemble, instrument storage will be new square footage on the campus. And then at the same time, so that is that darker pink color. And then the lighter pink color is the existing band and choir spaces that would be heavily renovated in order to put some more education spaces in there, such as putting in about 3 classrooms, as well as 2 lab spaces with a little bit of a lab support spaces in between. Each band and choir spaces will have some practice rooms, storage rooms, offices, as well as on the second floor. Currently, I only have it facing the band room just because that is the most beneficial, a mezzanine space with a little bit of a storage and mechanical spaces up there. So that's what you see on this side of the screen, and it will stack right up in this area. And then to the south of the band room, that's where we'll have an ensemble room as well as instrument storage rooms. We will need to do a little bit of a site reconfiguration to make sure that this addition fits on site. We will have to take away some of the parking and reconfigure, just touch up some of the drop-off areas there as well. Let's see. about 26 spaces. And, come on, okay.
And then the note underneath says existing electrical switchgear is not capable of supporting conditions.
Yes, so that is just to make sure that it's included in the pricing
Right,
to,
okay.
for this project.
Thank you.
So we, as you know, we've had meetings with teachers, principals, the board itself, and then most recently, we had a meeting with Rick Roughton and Arnold Caldwell to talk about technology and electrical needs, make sure that those were being addressed in the designs.
This year, we're going to, with option one or option two, the way we talked about alternatives to additional parking also.
That is
Do we ca-
currently, I don't have it in these projects.
Was one of them, is it acceptable to do it down over the hill, or was it right in front of the high school?
I think that has not been decided
Okay.
yet, kind of, I think we're still looking at those things in terms of.
That's not been
whether
priced, is that
it's-
part of this price, though?
I don't have it currently as part of this
Estimated,
price.
okay. Okay,
Be a small thing, but it would be nice.
to have that,
Within-
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, I agree. We don't know. We're going to lose 26 spots,
Yeah.
so it'd be nice to know a plan.
It would. Also, in the hallway for band and choir, if we go this route, it would be nice to put a door in for the stage. That door in the back is not great for whenever you're having show choir performances. The kids have to run out that door, and it's not
Well,
very appropriate, so.
I believe we talked about replacing that door, didn't we?
Right.
No, I'm just throwing it out there. that
Yeah.
Don't
Well,
worry
'cause you
about it
got the
tonight,
double-
but.
you got the double door currently to the outside that is now going into that hallway. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, but that, you gotta go down the stairs and then back up the stairs.
Yes,
and then
yes,
down.
that would be something that need to be,
So, but they, if that's stage level, they could just walk out
right,
into the hallway.
right.
So, just a thought.
And as you have those thoughts, whether we go with option one or two, there'll still be time to zero in on those
Details.
details down the road as we get to the design stage, more specific.
Exactly. Right now, this is kind of a very schematic, not even schematic, it's a
Right.
overview. Then kind of once you pick a portion, that's when we'll go through schematic design, design development, construction documents, where we'll be able to kind of go through all of those things and gather more input and shape
Yeah.
places a
I
little
agree,
bit
that
more.
Would just be a significant
Yeah,
flow.
no, you're right.
We have the numbers for the various parking lot options we looked at back in August, so
Okay,
we'll have to
okay.
follow up with that. if we
Okay.
want to look at those numbers again.
And there's two different locations we looked at, too, though.
Yeah, we have northeast parking and northwest.
Right.
Right, okay.
Those were. The east parking is $300,000 total budget. The north parking, northwest,
Yes.
that was a little under $1,300,000.
And that is because of the sizes, they're very different
That's the one,
sizes.
that's the one down, that's the one
Yes.
down over the hill.
No, the one on the east side is just taking over that little grassy area
Right.
over there. And then the one on northwest is just continuing the new parking lot that was just built
So
by the
practice
Student Activity
football-
Center.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
Yes.
So we still have space here, though. We could do it if we had to.
Yes.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Okay.
And then this is option 2 for the high school, which is kind of a mix of both performing arts edition and a lab edition. So taking existing band and choir spaces, reusing instrument storage space, taking existing choir room, preserving the risers, and then expanding it a little bit into this dimension just to give them a little bit more space. And then turning the existing band room into some additional ensemble storage and practice rooms. We'll also have a little bit of space for a couple classrooms in there as well. And then to the east of the existing building, that's where we can put a new band room addition with practice rooms, storage, offices, as well as that mezzanine up on the upper floor as well. And then on the west side, that's where we are able to have additional lab spaces and kind of lab support spaces on that side of the building. So in reality, kind of the main difference is whether labs are going to be new square footage or renovated existing square footage, as well as if choir is going to be new square footage or an existing renovated square footage. I don't know if it's a good place to discuss the differences between the two options for the high school or go into the junior high at this point.
Yeah, let's talk about the high school,
Okay.
differences.
Okay. So yeah, I think that's, as I said, choir is the main one that's kind of will experience the most difference, I would say, probably, whether it's an existing space or in a kind of larger, taller space in a new square footage. Currently, at the high school, the existing square footage does not, it has a nice ceilings, but what we're proposing is kind of a little bit taller spaces in there as well.
You also have a document there that gives a estimated cost for each option.
Mr. Kerr, is this open discussion? Okay, I wasn't sure, okay.
Yeah, we only have till 6, but.
Okay, I can talk all night, though. Yeah, I know. Well, quick question, though, on option one. One thing I do want to make sure we have, Dr. Sanders, before phase 2 starts, is some type of memorandum of understanding with these different community members. Does that make sense? With Cook or Boston or whoever we're going to partner with?
Yeah, we're working on that.
Okay, because if we're going to build it specifically for that, I want to make sure, if we're not, then we want to make sure there's classroom space for the high school.
For like with IU Health, they have a gentleman that I'm going to connect him actually with Misha. He actually goes around the country and designs these labs, and the lab with IU Health would be more like the sim lab at the IU Health Hospital, where we would have mock hospital rooms. And so that's when we get down to the specifics of the design, we'll have to have his input in that. And then we're also in the process of still working out the curriculum and developing how we're going to transform their training modules into high school curriculum. And so those MOUs will come from that information.
Okay.
Anything
Looking at those
else?
costs, it seemed like they were much different last time. They're pretty similar this time.
Yep.
And I guess my
From option
comment
1
there
to 2,
would
you
be
mean?
they're about 5% apart.
Right.
The level of accuracy of the design and the estimates, we could swing one way or another. So in my opinion, make a decision on what you think is the best solution, because
Right.
they're so similar cost.
Right.
$500,000 is no small amount of money,
Right.
but we could discover
Right.
something
Right.
about one of the other designs that could.
Yeah, I understand that.
Easily.
Right, okay.
And we're only talking about, what, 500 square feet difference?
Right.
I think.
Right.
I think last time we looked at
Of new
these,
construction.
the option one was much larger, and we kind of tried to
Right.
condense it down, so
Right.
that's
So-
what brought that price down.
Renovating, heavy renovations, that's not something that would be able to be done like in a summer, right?
Oh, absolutely not.
So,
Right.
To the principal.
so when you're, yeah, when we're looking at this, you know,
Thank you.
Right.
that kind of a thought too, if the price is very close, you know, what level of disturbance
Right.
to the school there would be.
Good point.
A lot of times you want to do your addition first. before you
Right.
do it, and then-
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In that case, kind of, it's probably, option one is probably cleaner to move everybody over and then renovate,
Right.
because with option two, you do still have that mix of kind of who's staying, who's going, and kind of things like that.
We would displace Squire for a period of time in that option.
Right, and then kind of instrument storage
Well, it's-
ensemble.
Not that we can't have growing pains, but
Right.
still, just something to consider it when things are otherwise even.
And besides, that's the principal's problem, so.
Yeah.
And the other comment, I think I've said before, that although this on paper works out to be less expensive, I think the fact that it's two separate editions
Changes the logistics.
it changes the logistics, changes, I think creates more opportunity for cost growth and unforeseen conditions. I mean, so that's why, in my mind, they're equal in terms of a cost impact, because there's a lot to discover between now and bid day. There's a lot of design to develop here, and it's investigating what's under the ground in those two spots, et cetera, et cetera.
Gotcha. Okay, any more question on this part?
Just to orient myself a little bit here, on option two, the one up there, the shaded gray vertical box, am I seeing it right that that's about where the ILC is now?
Yes.
Okay.
Do we have any, as a board, are you leaning, we're not taking any votes, but as board members, are you leaning one way or the other?
Anybody want to chime in?
After seeing this and talking with Misha and the high school, I kind of like option one the best, because it gives us flexibility for the future with that choir area.
Right.
Because I'm a little nervous about our long-term partnership with these different organizations, Dr. Sanders, but we can still use it for classroom space in the future, which is nice.
Yeah.
So that would be.
Well,
I guess
yeah, that's the beauty of it. I remember distinctly going down to Boston Scientific, wondering what their labs looked like.
Right.
And when I walked in and I basically saw 4 walls that you
Right.
could put anything in there, I thought, it's not such a leap, because we can utilize those classrooms. If whatever we don't anticipate
Correct.
that project not going anywhere, it's really gaining steam. But if for whatever reason we don't have it, those are easily regular classrooms.
Well,
Right.
and expecting that we'll gain steam, but inevitably there are going to be some modifications over time, but that's, the nice thing is that there would be flexibility, and those spaces
Right.
can be upgraded or modified to fit what we need.
And that was one of the benefits of not having it at a
Offsite, you're
remote
right. Yeah.
from the high school.
Right,
is
right.
We've got more options with it here.
I'm thinking option one.
Yeah.
I really like the labs by the ILC, but I'm not excited about the other arrangements for option 2, so.
Right. Right, that's,
I think option 1 would work well. I think it's going to be operationally a better look. I think it'll give the front of the school a better look
yes.
than being, blocky. So I think that can be a benefit as well. So given the prices, like that, it seemed like they were way different last time, but given what they are, very similar, I kind of like option 1.
Right. I think another thing too, Mr. Kerr, is it appears like, and it could change in any given year, but the junior high enrollment in choir is quite large, according to Mr. Rentschler, and this gives us that extra space if necessary for those kids that are coming over to the high school. I think it's a nice clean look for both of those band and choir group, I think.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's talk junior high.
Yeah, let's talk junior high.
So junior high, the main difference between the two options is option 1 looks at the building addition as being the classroom addition, and then the option 2 is looking at the building addition as the performing arts addition. So option 1, what we looked at is a possibility of taking over the Edge Media space and turning it into a choir space in there. We will leave the existing choir storage in place and turn the existing kind of offices and other smaller spaces in between Edge Media and the weight room into practice rooms and offices and things like that for choir room. We'll leave the existing band in place and kind of other spaces and just move Edge Media into the existing choir space. Make sure that we can get some acoustical separation between Edge Media and band room and kind of build out some of their support spaces as renovated spaces in there as well. And then on the south side of the building, looking at the building addition of 6 classrooms, as well as some support spaces and restrooms that can be accessible from the multipurpose room there. And then just kind of some additional projects of kind of redoing, refeeding the data in there as well, just kind of as part of the project. And then option 2 is looking at the building addition of the band and choir rooms down on the south side, providing that choir storage there, still doing the restrooms that are accessible from the multipurpose room, and doing band, choir, and small ensemble room in between. We'll have enough spaces for practice rooms, offices, and storage as well in there. Opposed to the high school, we will not have kind of any sort of upper platform or anything else like that here. And then on the, no, that's very big. On the north side of the building, we'll turn existing band and choir rooms, kind of annul that into 5 classroom spaces, kind of a few offices that can be connected to the existing admin area. And apologize, this text is very big, but just a couple of small group spaces that we can accommodate there as well. And then similar things with refeeding of existing data lines on the south side of the building.
In option 1, the Edge Media, but I see no Edge Media on option 2.
The idea is that it will stay in existing location currently. It's kind of adjacent to the weight room there.
In option 1, 2, it doesn't change.
Right.
It's in the, where it is now will be the same space.
Where is it?
Option 2.
I know, but where is it now?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I haven't.
To the weight room.
I'm kind of circling that on the screen if
There
you
you go.
can tell.
There you go. It's shown on the,
So just north of the gym,
Okay.
there.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That's a really large area.
it's a big space,
It's
that's
a
true.
huge area,
Yes.
yeah.
Mr. Insular, what are you thinking?
Mr. Renshaw, that's probably substantially bigger than you really need for Edge Media.
No,
Really?
I'll agree with you. No. Today we had kids, 8
All right.
different groups filming and moving around that room.
Okay.
And being able to contain them into that room instead of out in the hallways is needed.
Right.
So that space gets used very, very well.
Would that be a problem if you went with option one, where it's kind of in spaces, different spaces within the?
Mr. Grile is very creative.
That sounds like a diplomatic answer.
I'm sure that he would make it work, but we would have more students out and about in the building during instructional time, which when you're talking about junior high kids, keeping them out of
You think-
doorways.
Potential problems, you're saying?
Yeah, should.
Teenage boys cause problems?
Option one or option two?
That would be option two, would be
If I
the,
had
Yeah,
to.
two. You like two, okay.
The other item in option one is that, yes, we have enough square footage to put a choir room where currently Edge Media is, but the ceiling heights
Yeah.
are rather low, and we looked above the ceilings, the ducts there, we will not be able to get much higher ceiling spaces in there as well.
And regardless, either way, option one or two, with that building in that corner, there's going to be some restrooms down there now
Yes, yep,
that they could use from that gymatorium.
exactly.
Okay, all right, perfect.
Yeah, it looks like there's about $2.6 million difference, though. So we'll have to,
yeah.
I want to keep that in line with classrooms. Maybe it would be good to hit that. On the classroom paper, whatever the heck it is,
Option one?
it shows what the principals talked about, and on the back it showed what Misha came up with numbers-wise, but I don't know the numbers that are existing, so I don't know
Right.
what that means. So do we know the numbers existing?
Well, yes. Misha is just, the way he looked at it, and you explain it yourself, but was just basically mathematical. Here's a number of students we have, and here's how many classrooms you need. It doesn't take into account programs, rooms for special education, rooms for Title I, band, choir, those types of programs.
It's just hard for me to compare them because one gives a total number and the other one gives whether there's an
Well,
increase.
I
in how
gave the
much
same
increase.
information to Misha and to the principals. Basically, I gave them our demographic study with the enrollment projections from now through school year 34, 35, and just asked him to give us an estimate of how many classrooms we would need, and asked the same thing of the principals, and also considering the programs that they have. And I would say, for me, the better information is what the principals are saying, because they're considering their whole, they know their whole
Right.
school, their whole program.
Yeah, I get that, but I still think there's probably some value. So this says EPS 30 to 31 classrooms. How many classrooms are in that building right now?
Do you know? We could probably look.
EPS has 2 less classrooms than EIS because they opted for that large space on the west side of the building.
Okay, how many CIS got?
And I don't think that, I'm not sure that that would give you the information that you're looking for, because it's not considering the programs,
Right.
the spaces they need for the, like I mentioned, those examples
Would
I
be nice to
mentioned.
know how many rooms there are, though.
I like the principal's report better than Mish's. A lot better.
Well, yeah, I
And I
just,
got, and they're there every day.
yeah,
I mean, they know what's going on.
right.
I mean, no disrespect.
No.
Your brain works differently
My
too.
calculation
than
is more about when are you busting in the seams where you should have been.
Right.
Thinking about additions a long time ago.
Right.
Well, Dirk says he needs 39 classrooms. So how many do you have now?
I've got one person in the space I'd really like to put back into the space it was meant for, which is there in the ILC, which was just kind of a group working space. So that teacher would need to go to the classroom.
That's okay.
Yeah, I think.
Let me think about them giving it.
Well,
It is funny that we
option
wouldn't
one-
think of them in that way.
Option one adds 1, 2, 3 classrooms. Is that correct? Am I reading that right?
Yeah.
So would that mean you have 36 now? I say option 3 adds 3 classrooms. So that means you have 36 now then? Does that make sense?
No, I think I've got close to 3, I think, if I'm adding up.
Okay, all right.
Still kind of in departments here.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Right,
It's funny that we don't think of it in that way.
right. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It says 41.
You have
Rick got
41 now.
And that's, Dr. Sanders, that you, on Mish's report, that would be utopia if our class sizes were small also. Those are great.
Right.
Right. I mean, that's,
I think I understood what you wanted to know.
Okay,
I'm
thank you.
sorry.
And that's including those large
38 at
classrooms
EIS. Yeah,
for the elementaries.
35 to 36 at EPS. It's an
No,
interesting,
I did not include the connector. If you would include the connector now, that's another 4. I didn't include the 2 new classrooms that were built for title and
Oh.
staff workroom that
Yeah,
were part of the
with the
library
library.
previously.
yeah,
So upwards, almost hitting that 40 mark at both elementaries.
okay.
And then
Well,
there's
good. I
that
just wanted to make sure that,
crayon hallway that is not a raised classroom, it has no windows.
Right,
That typically isn't used as a classroom, it's used as something, it's not a
office, yeah,
used space for learning.
right.
okay.
We still count it as that.
All right.
Okay.
Sounds good.
Right.
The junior high is sitting at 30, 31.
Sounds good. Thank you. That did get my answer.
So what are your thoughts on junior high?
Well, I want option 2 at option 1 cost.
What'd you say?
Yeah, agreed.
Option 2 at option 1 cost. Yeah,
I like option 2.
I do too.
It makes the most sense to me.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, unfortunately.
Right. It does. And based on the height, especially by the height and ceiling done being acquired now, and all the ceiling tiles pulled out to try to get a greater height and,
Yeah, well, and even then you have to do
right.
all the ductwork and stuff is in the way.
Would you agree, Misha?
Yes, I agree that
You are
performing
getting
arts spaces, they
2,000
really need vertical
Yeah,
space.
that's,
Right, right.
that's the cost difference, really.
I think another thing, Dr. Sanders, down in that, where the Edge Media is at, there's a construction building room in the back there that's not going to need to be there anymore. That could be more space. You with me, Arnold? That could be over there in the band and choir in that new wing. Storage, it's all kinds of stuff, paper, chainsaws or whatever. There's all kinds of junk back there. It's a combination room, right?
Well,
Hey, Brad, I think that is a substantial amount of stuff that has to go with them, so I'm not sure if that storage is built into the require.
It looked like a big
I've
catch-all
got-
room. though. I don't know what all you had. You had paper stored in there, all kinds of stuff, which,
There's a lot of people that use that because
Right.
that's the only storage that we have.
right, yeah, so.
So tomorrow is closing for the bond sale, so we should be receiving $43,372,738.70.
Sorry, say that number again.
$43,372,738.70. And that is after we pay the financing fees.
Okay, so after all these, if we do the EHS 1 and J2, J-High 2, then we would end up with about $6 million left.
6.2.
So what was the other things on our list?
Well, that's what we'll start working on next.
I kind of wonder about opportunity cost. You know, if we saved the $6 million and went with the cheaper options, that would give us $12 million. What are we losing by spending that $6 million on this project?
Well,
What would we have gained in addition to that?
We're still working off of the facility study that we had done, I don't know, I guess 4 years now. And through this whole process of determining where we were going with our future construction projects, I asked the board to kind of narrow down the long list of those options, and the top 5 were roofing, which we're already working towards that, mechanical or HVAC work, that's already in the process, the band and choir expansion, renovation, the biomedical labs at the high school, and turf on the baseball and softball field. The other item that was high on the list was the asphalt, kind of laying down a new layer of asphalt across the campus on our parking lots.
Sounds like an ILC project. Sorry. Okay.
While you're talking, if you want to talk some more, I'll try to look up that list that we had.
No, that's all right. I mean, you're right, the things that we had identified as our priorities are,
Yeah, we're working on the,
Yeah.
Okay,
yes.
the walking path.
yeah.
We haven't got to that part yet.
I know.
It's coming up, yeah.
We're working on the plan for the walking path.
Right.
Between the junior high and high school.
Which, is that part of phase 1? Or is that
It's not
prior to
really-
phase 1?
It's just one of the projects we're
Okay.
working towards.
Yeah. I don't want us to forget that, because that's super important for safety to me.
Then the last item on my list is the turfing of the fields for baseball and softball.
Right.
I only have one option on it. So it is turfing of the existing field, providing a new bullpens, fixing existing backstops at the baseball field. We also looked at it earlier today, just kind of reconfiguring some of it. It shouldn't be kind of affecting pricing too much, just more of a moving pieces around. And then on the softball side, what we're looking at is the new turf, new backstop, new sound system, as well as the new press box and restroom concession building that you can see on the right side of the page a little bit more. So concessions facing the field itself, and few restrooms and mechanical, with the stairs going up into the press box, centered on the back, on kind of backside of the softball field. I believe that's kind of, we talked with the admin team and user groups. They seem to be in agreement that that kind of should be the extent of it, of the project. Today we talked about kind of more of configuration of bullpens, right, kind of in these areas here, as well as trying to connect and looking at possibility of maybe a sidewalk connection back there, and also looking at the visitor bullpen being just a single one, not a double corridor. So kind of a little bit of a trade-off in terms of costs.
Tennis courts is another item.
Dr. Sanders, a question on the softball field. That, I thought that, and I know it's a ballpark quote on the 1.7 million. That must be a pretty nice building we're looking at doing here.
In my experience, that always so much more than anybody expects.
Right, I was a little stunned by that price tag on that one.
A lot of it's toilet rooms.
Right.
Yeah, getting all those services to the building, they're just expensive buildings, and the smaller they get, the more they cost.
Right.
So we hopefully pay you worst case scenario.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what I thought. And then we talked about that the old press box, Misha.
Yes.
That's already has a restroom. It's
Yep.
got water, sewage already there. That could be cleaned up a little bit too, if necessary.
You're talking about the baseball field now.
Right. No, I'm talking about this little building right here.
Oh.
That's got restrooms and water,
Oh, does it? Okay.
and septic and everything else right there, sewer.
It's been used.
It's being used, yeah, it's being used right now.
Mhm.
Not used as much as
Right.
opening the junior high ed to allow people to go to the junior
Okay.
high service. It's not handicap accessible and it's
Right.
not very nice.
I didn't know if it'd make that other little practice field more usable and for games and so forth.
And that second field back there is used for junior high.
Okay, all right, perfect. Okay. Yep.
Okay, any final questions? I'd like to.
Give me a second, I'm looking up some of those other projects.
Sure. Since the engineers aren't here, I believe that we had talked about addressing the temperature controls at the high school as being the next major mechanical work. And there may be some logic of combining that with the music edition ahead of that. So we didn't present that cost to you tonight, but it's something you asked what other
Right.
projects, that might be something the board might want to engage as part of this step, phase 2 or 3.
Right. I don't know also,
Because
Mr. Go ahead.
this only phase 1 is only then the mechanical renovations.
And that mechanical, if you recall, is the boilers at both junior high and high school, as well as the pumps, as well as some exhaust rooftop equipment on it.
So,
It does not have a complete replacement of the controls at the high school. The reason we didn't propose it in phase 1 is because we knew this additions were coming, and it made a lot more sense to do it then than it does prior to that.
so
Right.
do you remember what that value
It's in
was?
that million, I think it's closer to $1.5 million, it's in that range. Depends on how comprehensive you go.
come how many extra 6 million we have.
So it seems like our HVAC campus-wide has issues as far as, you know, get reports of classrooms being super cold or super hot at EPS. So are those controls, are we fixing them already, or?
That's what he's talking about.
Right.
The temperature control system, I was referring just to the high school, which
Yeah.
I believe is your biggest problem, and the age, and the condition and the system and all that. That $1.5 million would get you a comprehensive,
Or just the high school though?
yes.
So what if our other buildings are in bad shape with controls too?
I guess as I recall, the report from the engineer
Mhm.
focused primarily on the high school problems.
Right.
Being comprehensive. I can't speak to the other buildings.
Yeah, my wife's a teacher at EPS, and she's been in there in the mornings, it's been 61 degrees. So that's,
They're all getting very old.
huh?
They're all getting very old.
Okay.
That's 23-year-old.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean, that,
Right.
And, but
I
keep
think
in
to make
mind,
our-
keep in mind, in 2027, we can bond again. So.
right, so then that'd be 3 years before you control the temperature. So that's just what I'm getting at, is we make these buildings and we try to do a good job of making them beautiful, but if they're uncomfortable to be in, then, you know, it's, you know, there's night activities where it's too hot, and then there's getting in there in the morning sometimes, and it's too cold. And so I'm just saying, I think that's a priority, that we ought to
Yeah.
think about the conditioning of the buildings too.
So what's the most recent work we've had done at the elementary schools, Arnold, with HVAC?
Boilers? Replacement of boilers?
That's what we've had done recently?
Correct.
So what's next at the elementary schools?
We'll follow on to high school and junior high that he's talking about. So we did the boilers, we put the new chillers in. All of those got the new chillers. We did the boilers for the elementaries. But to get, Dana's talking about, we're gonna have to do a control package like Rick was talking about.
I'd like to know what that would cost. Because again, I think your building's got to be comfortable for student learning and for visitors to be impressed by what you got. It's one thing to come into a nice conditioned room, it's something else, building, it's something else come in, it's super hot or super cold, and so, yeah, you spend millions of dollars and you don't have, you know, can't keep the temperature right. So I think that they are old, I get it, it's not that we just aren't operating right, it's they're old. So we need to look at that, because again, because you can also start getting issues with humidity and things like that lead to other damages if you don't keep track of it. So I would just like that to be looked into.
Sure, we'd be happy to work with Lancer and CES engineers on a comprehensive budget for doing all buildings.
Including
Junior high, EPS, EIS, high school.
Yeah.
So are you suggesting, Dana, that we hold off on what we're talking about tonight to get that information?
No, I don't think we need to do that. If the entire high school is 1.5 million, I can't imagine that we would be over $6 million
Right.
with the rest of them either.
Okay.
So I'm just saying, as far as priority, to me, that's a priority, is getting
Sure.
the buildings comfortable.
Sure, and we've talked about, you know, I think I've shared with you before as far as HVAC goes, that my impression is, we waste a lot of Arnold's time running around, putting out fires, so to speak, with HVAC. And I think I've explained before that I think the way we've done things in the corporation before is just piecemeal it And now we're in a situation where we have old equipment trying to talk with new equipment, and the controls that are old versus, I mean, it's just a mess. And we've been trying to get to a proactive, plan for moving forward.
Yeah, so, again, and I think there's funds available to do it. I just think that does need to be a priority,
Yeah, okay.
so.
And we only have a few more minutes, but are we good with the design on the turf? Do you want Misha to go through that real quick?
I'd like to see, of course, the drawing of the buildings and all that.
Yeah.
Later.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's, saves some dollars there. So that's good.
Thank you, Dr. Sanders, for all the time you, with all the
Oh, yeah.
constituency and trying to get some consensus.
Well,
I know we got to get moving here, so I think it's been I know you put a lot of time in with all the building administrators and so forth.
well, that's what I think our board is so good at. We continue to have conversations, and we don't get in a hurry.
Right.
I don't think. And we talk about these things, and sometimes I'm the kind of a personality, I want to keep moving forward, and I want to have things happen now. And so I appreciate the board's direction in helping us to make the best decision and use our taxpayer dollars the best way we can in the best interest of our kids.
Okay, so do you got what you need for tonight?
I think, do you guys have anything, Victor, or Martin, or Misha, you want to add?
I think the only thing that I might add to this is that in order to take advantage of, to roll out these projects at the right timeline, we already authorized phase one, which is the mechanical and the roofing. We're proceeding with that. We'll be getting that first. We're proposing to get going on the turf as soon as possible because we have kind of a window of time between June and the bad weather to not lose a season. And then the third piece would be to do the additions, and that'll take some more time to design. We would most likely combine, I'm proposing to combine the softball building with the building package, so it might lag a little bit. And then we'll talk about the controls component when that might roll out. So just to kind of three-package approach. The goal is to try to get those turf movements
Right.
before, I've told Misha before April.
Yeah, and I think that's doable. We already have authorized the survey to go out and start surveying, so we're in line there. So once survey is done, that's when we can start engineering.
Drainage approval, so we gotta get those guys before they fill up their season.
Yep.
The contractors, I mean,
Yeah.
not baseball season.
Yep.
And we did agree on red here.
Well, it is, it's red. That's what we're doing. And so would you likely do the additions at the same time then in those other little buildings I think before you did that to maximize?
My initial thoughts were trying to sort of build those additions a little bit at a stagger, so foundation,
Right,
steel, something
Right,
like that nature. We
yeah.
have a lot of work to do with that. I think combining them might be the best way to get the best bang for your buck.
And that might help relieve the $1.4 million.
Yeah. If I could get the mason that's doing the two additions to also bid the softball building, that's gonna bring the softball building costs
Right.
down. In our
Yeah.
Yeah.
An additional organization.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yep, I like that.
Yep.
I like that. Would they do the panels like they did
No.
for any
Concrete
of the
panels.
exterior walls on the additions?
Too early to say. My first reaction is probably not.
It's not that big.
When you get a more complicated shaped building, lower, the cost economies start to go down.
Right.
So,
I'm just curious. Just curious. Okay. Well, that will do it, and I'll adjourn the work session. And so we will give it more than just 1 minute before we start the next, so.